Now, new homes are being built without enough storage. That's according to a new report by the organisation which advises the government on architecture.
Is the problem really, though, that houses are too small these days, or are we simply hoarding too much stuff?
Well, Jamie Breese used to present the television programme Life Laundry, which showed people how to declutter their lives. And Jenny Trent-Hughes is a life coach. Jamie, let me start with you. Is it really that easy to declutter?
It can be, yeah. You can take simple steps, bring some friends and family around, take baby steps, start with, work with one room at a time. And, there's so many items which we hang on to for sentimental reasons, nostalgia. And actually, when you let go of a few items, give them away, recycle them, very, very few of us, I find, have actually regretted it. We need to live in a more nimble, mobile time. We're living in a period of exponential change as well, work-wise, relationship-wise. People aren't in homes for life. And I think living a decluttered life is a healthy thing to do in this day and age.
Jenny, are you a clutter bug?
Oh, yes. Can't you tell? They just don't want us to have any fun anymore. We can't do this, we can't do that. Now we can't save old styrofoam cups from concerts and bottle caps and all the stuff that just helps us relive our glory days constantly. I mean, I do agree that there's a very big difference between rubbish and stuff that you keep because it makes you smile.
Well, but some people can't necessarily tell the difference. I can't.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah.
Surely it's quite healthy, though, isn't it, for the soul and the mind to kind of clear out and have fresh open spaces, be it in your house or the office?
I think that, there's that old saying of, a cluttered desk reflects a cluttered mind. Well, does an empty desk mean then that you have an empty mind? There somehow needs to be a middle area. And yes, if you think of it from feng shui point of view, that to have energy circulating in your environment, you do need to get rid of a lot of extra rubbish. But you should keep your wedding dress. You should keep certain things.
Jamie, should you keep the wedding dress?
Well, I'll find out.
You're only going to wear it once.
I'll find out when I get married. No, I've come across. I travelled the country with Dorna for 5 or 6 months going into homes, and often we found old wedding dresses which were, moth-eaten, unusable, sort of thing you wouldn't pass down, to your siblings or relatives down the line.
Or fit in again.
Or fit in again. There's simple things you can do. We used to create memory boxes, and I still do that. You can cut a 1-inch square from a wedding dress or something similar to that. If it's not going to be used again, you can't recycle it or sell it, and pop that into a memory box. Same thing with hordes of photographs. Keep one photo from each event, give the rest to your friends or recycle it, pop it into the memory box, and that would count as one of the 100 items which I think you should live with or less.
It's all very good advice, Jamie, but I know that when you decluttered your home, you actually have put a lot of stuff into storage, so it's not as easy as it sounds.
You've done your research today, haven't you? Yeah, I've done 3 declutters, significant ones, major ones, in the last year and 3 quarters. And because I deal with antiques and collectibles and I go on to shows and talk about stuff, I do keep some items, partly for nostalgic reasons, but also for show and tells. And I think getting stuff out of the house is a good thing. If you can find a small storage unit or a little garage, lock it up, then that's where you can keep some of the items which have less day-to-day use. If you've got a bunch of clothes, put one item on probation, as Dawn used to say. Each week, put one item of clothing on probation. If you haven't used it in the month, then let it go.
You're cheating.
How am I cheating?
By putting all your clutter in storage, you're cheating. If you were a real declutterer, it would go in the bin.
I decluttered first, and then you take the items which you really, the significant things.
The thing is, Jenny, you know a lot about relationships, and if there's too much clutter in a house, that can have a sort of negative impact on the way that people relate to each other.
Oh, absolutely. I worked with a couple once where the man had almost 100 post boxes, like sort of big red post boxes. He had almost 100 of them in the garden and, was driving his wife absolutely mad. Yeah. So, yes, that's silly because there's clutter that you have because it comforts you. And then there's a different kind of clutter which is actually a barrier to keep people away from you. Like if no one can get in your bedroom because there's so much clutter, that kind of thing. That's a different issue that you might want to take a look at.
I suppose also you have to think about, once you've decluttered, should you then stop buying? Because that's how you get the clutter in the first place. You go off and see something, oh, that would be nice there, that would look nice there, or I might need that in the future.
Well, you see, you're talking about a different kind of clutter too, because something that you pay money for and it's aesthetically pleasing is one thing, but it's the sort of like old hotel room keys and that kind of thing. That's a whole different kind. That's real clutter.
Should you? The other thing is, should you just chuck it out, or should you try to make some money out of it? I mean, it's very dangerous going to car boot sales because you might come back with more than you
Very true.
you take.
Yeah, I've done hundreds of car boot fairs since I was 11 or 12, and it is a risk, especially when you're taking householders who've just decluttered. But, you know, there's so many ways to let go of items. One, you know, you can recycle, you can take them to the charity shop, but, you know, we're in a credit crunch at the moment, why not help pay those bills? You can go to your local auction house, you can go online to sites like eBay, and also be careful about what you're letting go of. Books are officially the most hoarded item in the UK, but be careful about letting go of rare, modern first edition books, for example. And now, because of the internet and TV shows like this and others, you can actually find out what things are worth, which didn't used to happen up until about, say, 10 years ago.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you both very much. And we'll let you go off and declutter. You wouldn't mind coming around to my house, would you?
It's a done deal. My fees are low at the moment.
Because as I was saying earlier, I've got a few VHSs hanging around on top of the piano.
And no VHS
no
player.
player.
It does make you wonder. Thanks ever so much.
I might just use it one day. All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks.